So now it's time to get started on our We Support Young Dual Language Learners bingo. I will read a statement that pertains to a word or concept that we have discussed during our sessions. And we'll take some time to see if we can determine which word or concept fits that statement. So the first clue or statement is this is a tool that you can use to guide your conversations with families at any time throughout the year. It will help you gather information about the family and child, which will inform your planning. And that is the family survey or the family languages and interests interview. Right? We use that throughout the year. It's an ongoing living document that helps us gather information about the family. It opens up the door for a conversation and a relationship with them. It really informs our planning around how to support home language development and intentionally plan for learning in our classrooms. So our second statement is the blank blank can be written or verbally communicated and uses rich vocabulary that expands on a concept the child or children are exploring. And that is the intentional message. So the intentional message can be written or verbally communicated. And it uses rich vocabulary, right? It expands on that concept and it sets the stage for the learning for whatever period of time the children will be exploring that concept. So it can be a day for a specific lesson or for a week, however long you'll be using the intentional message to expand on that concept that the children are exploring. Our third statement is a true or false statement, and it is teachers and providers do not have to speak the language of the child to support home language development. And that is a true statement. Teachers and providers don't have to speak the language of the child to support home language development. That is where we rely on our resources. Although we may not speak the language, we may have another staff member in the classroom or a parent or other community member that speaks the language, and they can support us in supporting that child's home language development, right? We can rely on the families to help us learn key phrases in the child's language, to support that home language development with reading anchor texts and previewing concepts at home. So we do not, as teachers and providers, have to speak the language of the child to support their home language development. Our fourth clue is these are used to enhance vocabulary development. They are physical movements and signals that are repeated as specific content vocabulary is introduced to imprint meaning. And those are our gestures, right? So we use gestures to accompany vocabulary. We use them in songs and chants to accompany intentional messages as well. Anytime that we're using vocabulary, we associate them with physical movements or signals or other visuals that are repeated so that the children associate the meaning of the vocabulary in the song or the intentional message with the physical movement or signal that is a gesture. Our fifth and final statement is in your learning setting, you may have multiple languages represented, and you know that environmental print supports all learners. You spent time and asked families to help you write words in their languages to place on or by specific items you have around the room. And this is labeling. It's one of our environmental supports to support all learners, right? We make sure that we spend time helping represent all languages and all learners in our learning setting by reaching out to families, other staff members, or translating ourselves different words for labeling different items in our classrooms so that all learners in all languages are represented in our classrooms. So there it is. We've got 5 in a row. We've got bingo. We have got our concepts and we have got a bingo.